Well, folks, today I am taking some stuck lifters apart because I'm too cheap and too stubborn to buy Chinese lifters that are just going to ruin the cam in my 455 over there on the stand. The cam and the lifters were in good shape in this motor, but if you watch the first video, this motor sat for a very long time in a shed. And I think it was a shed that had a dirt floor in it, to be honest with you. But it was stuck. And right now I am taking all of the lifters apart one by one and getting them unstuck. Most people probably wouldn't go to this length, but I've done it quite a few times. Here it comes. Piston is coming out. It's up to the top, but it'll pop up out of there here in just a minute. Maybe. The 7 that I did previous to this one did. Now that I decided to make a video, this one probably won't do it. That or it'll fly out altogether and spray me with hot oil and burn me. That'd be about my luck. It's coming very slow. Don't let it get too hot. I got all kind of junk laying around here. This is a M20 Muncie puzzle piece. Well, it's a puzzle set. I got that a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna overhaul it and put it in this Buick behind this 455. Now, it's up out of the bore now. Okay, that's enough. I'll make another part to this after I get it apart. Okay, so in case you didn't know it, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces to a typical GM hydraulic lifter. And when they sit around for a long time in an engine that hasn't been run in decades, they get stuck. The piston will get stuck down in the bore, especially if it was parked with the valve opened. And over years, they just get stuck. Sometimes it's a result of dirty oil and varnish that's down in there. Other times they can get condensation in them where they get a little bit of rust. And usually when that happens, it's almost impossible to get them apart. Wasn't the case with these ones. I've already cleaned these parts up, but the piston had a pretty good coating of varnish on it, which was making it fit pretty tight in the bore, and I could barely get it to move. But when you heat it with a propane torch just a little bit, the pressure that builds underneath of it will force it out. And if you could just get it to the top of the bore, where you can grab it with a pair of pliers and manipulate it, then you can work it out. And so that's what I've done here. I've got 8 more to do. I've already done the passenger side lifters in this engine. When I took this engine apart, the cam and lifters was in nice condition. So I decided I was just going to reuse it. And the last thing I wanted to do was put a cheap set of Chinese lifters in it, and that would ruin the cam. It's hard to get good lifters these days, unless you spend a lot of money. And the main object of this particular build is to spend as little money as possible. So anyway, that's how you take apart and clean up a GM hydraulic lifter. I just use a little bit of motor oil on all the parts when I put it back together. Anyway, that's all for today.